I discussed about the types of carbon atoms, right? Now I am going to discuss about types of hydrogen atoms. So types of hydrogen atom means what? Based on the connectivity, hydrogen atoms are mainly classified into three types. Hydrogen atoms, based on connectivity, these are mainly classified into three types. What are those? Primary hydrogen, next one secondary hydrogen, next one tertiary hydrogen. Tertiary hydrogen. When I discussed about types of carbon atoms, four types of carbon atoms are possible: primary carbon, secondary carbon, tertiary carbon, and quaternary carbon. But what about types of hydrogens? Hydrogen atoms are only three types of hydrogen atoms are possible based on the connectivity. What are those? Primary hydrogen, secondary hydrogen, and tertiary hydrogen. What is primary hydrogen? The hydrogen which is attached to primary carbon, that is called primary hydrogen. The hydrogen which is attached to secondary carbon, that is called secondary hydrogen. Which is attached to tertiary carbon, that is called tertiary hydrogen. Then the definition I will give you. The hydrogen which is directly attached to primary hydrogen, primary carbon, is called primary hydrogen. What about secondary hydrogen? The hydrogen which is directly attached to secondary carbon is called secondary hydrogen. What about tertiary hydrogen? The hydrogen which is directly attached to tertiary carbon is known as tertiary hydrogen. So based on the connectivity. What about quaternary hydrogen? Quaternary hydrogen is not possible, I told. Why? Because if it is possible means what? That hydrogen should be connected to quaternary carbon. But carbon combining capacity maximum 4 only. 4 means what? Carbon is already connected to 4 other carbon atoms. So there is no possibility to connect with hydrogen. That's the reason quaternary hydrogen is not possible. Some examples we'll discuss. So what is the name of the compound in nomenclature we'll discuss. Now we can identify number of hydrogen atoms, number of primary hydrogens, number of secondary hydrogens, number of tertiary hydrogens. Then first of all we can identify the primary carbon, secondary carbon, tertiary carbon, quaternary carbon. Then we can easily identify types of hydrogen atoms. Carbon is attached to only one carbon, primary. Carbon is attached to one carbon, primary. Carbon is attached to one carbon, primary. It is attached to 1, 2, 3, tertiary. It is attached to 2 other carbon atoms, secondary. It is attached to only one carbon atom, primary. It is attached to only one carbon, primary. This is connected to quaternary, ruled out. Anyway, quaternary hydrogen is not possible. Then primary hydrogen atoms. Number of secondary hydrogen atoms. Number of tertiary hydrogen atoms. Here. Number of primary hydrogens. How many primary hydrogen atoms are possible? Tell me here. This is primary carbon. One primary carbon is attached to how many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens. These are all 3 hydrogens are belongs to primary carbon. What is the definition? The hydrogen which is directly attached to primary carbon is called primary hydrogen. Here these 3 hydrogens, 3 connected to primary carbon. So these 3 are belongs to primary. These 3 also 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 belongs to primary. So total how many are there? 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Total 9, 12, 15. Secondary hydrogen atoms. How many secondary hydrogen atoms are there? Then these hydrogens are connected to secondary carbon. These 2 hydrogens are belongs to secondary. 2 secondary hydrogens are possible. What about tertiary hydrogens? Tertiary carbon. It is attached to only one hydrogen. Tertiary hydrogens are only one. Now, some more questions are possible with this example. What is that? How many type of primary hydrogens are possible? How many types of primary hydrogens are there in the given example? How many type of primary hydrogens are there? We'll discuss. This primary carbon is connected to quaternary. This primary carbon is connected to quaternary. This primary carbon is connected to quaternary. So that means these are all 3 carbons are same type of primary carbon atoms. So all 3 are same type of carbon atoms means hydrogen which is attached to those carbon atoms also same only. What about this primary? This primary atom, primary carbon is connected to tertiary. So this hydrogen is connected to this carbon. These hydrogens are differ from these 3. Why? Primary hydrogen is connected to one carbon. That carbon is attached to tertiary. The primary hydrogen which is connected to one carbon, that carbon is attached to quaternary. So with respect to connectivity, these 2 are different. What about this one? This is also different because this hydrogen, primary hydrogen connected carbon is attached to secondary carbon. That's why that is also different. Total, how many type of primary hydrogen atoms are there? 3 type of primary hydrogen atoms are there. Okay, I'll give the explanation with one substitution reaction. Of course, just listen. If don't you understand, definitely you will understand in types of reactions also. Then, so what I told you, 3 type of primary hydrogens are there. I am going to take halogenation reaction. Halogenation reaction means what? One hydrogen is replaced by halogen. So how many type of primary halogenation products are possible? So that means primary halogen should be replaced by, primary hydrogen is replaced by halogen. We'll discuss one more example. Number of primary hydrogen atoms, number of secondary hydrogen atoms, number of tertiary hydrogen atoms. How many are there? This is attached to 2 other carbons secondary. This is attached to 2 other carbons secondary. This one also secondary. It is attached to 1, 2 secondary, attached to 1, 2, 3, 4 quaternary carbon atom. Then how many primary carbon atoms are there? This is primary carbon atom. This is primary carbon atom. Primary is possible, secondary is possible, tertiary is not possible, quaternary is possible. The number of primary hydrogens. Here if you take this carbon, carbon is attached to one bond, second bond. Remaining how many hydrogens are there here? 2. Remaining bonds with hydrogens. Here 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. Total how many secondary hydrogens are there? 2 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 10. Then what about number of primary hydrogens? Primary carbons are 2. This is attached to, this carbon is attached to only one carbon. Remaining 3 bonds are required. Those 3 bonds are with whom? Hydrogen. So 3 hydrogens are there. Here also 3 hydrogens are there. Number of tertiary hydrogens. Is there any tertiary hydrogen? Tertiary carbon only not there. Obviously tertiary hydrogens are not there. 0. Then we'll discuss one more example. Then we'll stop this topic. Number of primary hydrogens. Number of secondary hydrogens. Number of tertiary hydrogens. Number of primary hydrogens. How do you identify? Based on the connectivity with carbon. This is connected to only one carbon primary. This is connected to only one carbon primary. This is connected to 1, 2 other carbons secondary. This is connected to 1, 2, 3 other carbons tertiary. 1, 2, 3 other carbon tertiary. 1, 2 carbons secondary. 1, 2, 3 carbons tertiary. Primary. This is also primary. This is secondary. Secondary. Primary. Now tell me how many primary hydrogens are there? Primary carbon hydrogens are primary hydrogens. Here it is having only one bond, remaining bonds with hydrogens. 3, 3, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus 3, 15. So total number of primary hydrogens how many? 15. Secondary hydrogens. Secondary carbon is connected to 2 other carbon atoms. So remaining bonds with hydrogen 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6. Tertiary hydrogens. Here 3 bonds are the remaining bond with 1 hydrogen. Remaining bond with 1 hydrogen. Remaining bond with 1 hydrogen. So number of tertiary hydrogens are 3. One more example we'll discuss. H2C double bond, CH, CS3. Number of primary hydrogens. Number of secondary hydrogens. Number of tertiary hydrogens. Carbon is attached to only one carbon primary. It is connected to only one carbon primary. It is attached to only one carbon primary. It is attached to 2 other secondary. It is attached to 2 other secondary. It is attached to 1, 2, 3 other carbon atoms tertiary. So primary carbons 1, 2, 3 are there. But previously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 primary carbon atoms are there. Each primary is attached to 3 other hydrogens. So 5 into 3, 15 we can easily write. But what about here? We can't write like that. Why? Double bond carbons are there, triple bond carbons are there. So that's why connectivity with the hydrogen will be changing. Then here primary hydrogens how many? 2 are there. Here how many? 3 are there. Here how many? 1 is there. So total primary hydrogens are 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 2, 6. What about this one? Number of secondary hydrogens. Here only 1 is there. This is also secondary carbon, but there are no hydrogens because already that carbon is attached to 4 bonds. Here only 1 secondary hydrogen. But previously single bond secondary carbon is connected to 2 hydrogens. But number of tertiary hydrogens, how many? Only 1. So like that we can give more number of examples. Here how many type of primary hydrogens are possible? This is primary hydrogen. Double bond carbon primary hydrogen. Single bond carbon primary hydrogen. Triple bond carbon primary hydrogen. Total 3 type of primary hydrogens are possible. Okay. Then this is about the types of hydrogen atoms. Next topic, hybridization.